Education not only gives knowledge, but prepares children for a better future. However, in Nigeria today, the decay in our education system has raised a lot of questions. More alarming is the decline in reading culture. Though not unique to Nigeria, it has hugely affected one of the tools used for impacting societal values. Today, we are discussing reviving reading culture among youths in Nigeria. This is Break It Down. Hello and welcome to Break It Down, where we make matters of policies, societal issues, governance and development easily understood by all. Today we are looking at reviving reading culture amongst youths in Nigeria, and my guest is Engineer Anthony Akpokene. He is a book reading advocate, petroleum engineer and a trainer. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am.
From petroleum engineering to book reading.
Yes.
How do they relate?
It's my background.
Yeah.
My father is a teacher. My mother was the principal of Imaguero College in Benin. Okay. And then the principal of AGGS Ozoro. My grandfather was a teacher in Ozoro. My great-grandfather was one of the early teachers in Ibrede. So his teacher, and when we were growing up, if you not read now, cane. So it's part of me, yeah. But if you are educated at all, you must like book. So it's part of the whole thing.
Okay, when we say reviving reading culture, for the purpose of breaking it down to the level of my viewers right now, what exactly is reading culture?
Reading culture, I will just use an illustration to explain. Some years ago, I went to England and I entered the train, moving from Hounslow East, going all the way through Piccadilly line, going down, across the town. And the first thing I noticed was that all the Oyibo people, as they enter the train, they bring out their books from their bag and they start reading. Look to your left, look at our brothers. They will chat from beginning to end. You know, laugh, this. Nobody, I saw none, no Nigerian person bringing book to read. You see, so they have that culture. That is what I mean by reading culture. Enter the aeroplane, enter the bus. Okay, I take the bus a lot from Big Joe when I'm going to Benin. So from Utako to Benin, I never see anybody bringing any book to read. So that illustration gives you what I mean by reading culture. People don't read anymore, but everybody presses phone, Instagram, Facebook, you know, they're looking. And it's not helping people at all.
I remember when we were growing up, you just talked about people bringing out books. When we were growing up, every young girl my age had a book in her bag. And every young boy you saw with a book. Yeah. And anywhere we were, we brought out our books. What do you think, what is happening to today's youth? There's a lot
involved. First of all, technology. We didn't have all this kind of technology before. So that has affected the youth a lot. Number two, I always blame leadership. You cannot give what you don't have. What is our leaders, what are they portraying? You understand? Without proper education, with proper reading, in Warri we call it bevy. You can do bevy and get anything you want. So people look at this person. I have spent time, energy, hours, months, years reading. I come out of school, no job. So leadership is a problem. And unless we get the leadership right, this thing will continue. It will continue to go downhill. Because that's what we are seeing today. And it pains me very much because from where I come from, the Niger Delta where I come from is terrible.
And when we were growing up, I remember we had bookshops everywhere. We went to the bookshops at all times to buy books. Even the supermarkets, we had the big supermarkets, we had bookshelves where we would go and buy our Hadley Chase, Mills and Boone, Agatha Christie, and the likes. And then again, we had libraries built by government. I still remember my first elevator ride in life was the Benin Library. Whatever happened to libraries?
It's still leadership. See, let me tell you a story. I have a project called Warri City Library Project. When I had a program with Sam Adeyemi in 2009, we launched a project for Warri called the Warri City Library Project. We had everything designed. Everything was already done. I now went for the London Book Fair. I met, what do you call this company? Oxford University Press. I met Cambridge. Then a British Council. They said, okay, Tony, we support this vision, but let me see what your government will do. You start it first, then we'll come in. So I came back. It was during the Douagan's regime, and did my proposal, went to them and said, this is the program that I have. This is the project that I have. I spent 9 good hours, 9 good hours trying to present this document. By the time the guy finally came, who was the special advisor or one thing, he looked at it, he said, is this why you are wasting my time? Really? Before my eyes, he carried the document and threw it on the dustbin. Oh. So it's leadership. That project is one of, I just turned 60 some weeks ago, and it's one of my aspirations. Yeah. It's one of my aspirations. And I said, you know, before I leave this world, because Warri made me, I grew up in Warri, we will do that project. So we have another man, Okowa now, who is our old school boy from Edo College. And I'll be going back to discuss with him to see if they can do this so that we can move it along.
We just wish, as you are doing the Warri City Library, there should be Abuja City Library, there should be Gombe City Library, there should be Minag City Library, there should be Benin City Library. Charity
begins at home. Yes, I have to start from my home. Yes. You know, actually, when I started the book business in 2006, I used to come to Abuja a lot. I love the city, I love the planning, and I went to Erufai, and I asked him to give me land so that we can build a resource center, which includes a library. If you go out there, you see the model on my wall, the Abuja Library. So it has been in my...
Erufai was or is a forward thinker.
Yes. So we discussed. It was
approaching
to approach him when he was about to leave FCT as minister. You know, politics after, and that one, the next people that came were not interested. So the project just died there.
So the problem is there. What are the advantages really of reading books, especially amongst the youths?
Wow, it's countless. First of all, you are educated. The wisdom of 1,000 years, 2,000 years is inside the book. Yeah. So you are educated, your horizon is expanded. You understand? So you don't just concentrate on only, okay, you are reading chemistry in school. You only read chemistry. No, there are other things. Education, going to university is just a tool for you to use in life. You come out, yes, you read botany, but you can become an MD of an oil company. All you need is just the basic education. You can read, you can write, you have analytical reasonings and all that. So, but when you read wide, you are able to discuss with all kinds of people. You have board meetings, you go abroad, all kinds of things come in. It's not necessarily just your area of specialty. You see, so that helps. And of course, they say that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So if you are not used to reading, and what happens is that all kinds of things, there's no void. All kinds of things begins to come into your mind. So it's important not just to read, but what do you read?
And if you don't read, you can't write well.
No, if you can't, definitely you can't write well.
So how would you just mentioned the internet. How would you say the internet culture has really impacted reading culture in Nigeria? Not forgetting that there are books on the internet too. Yes.
You see, every technology can be used for good and can be used for evil. You understand? So that is where this whole internet thing comes in. With the internet, you should be able to read more books. You know, so you have an app that you can download 100, 200 books. And so, I mean, will you be able, we are traveling, will you carry 200 books in your bag? No. So that's the advantage. But the truth is that many people are using it for Instagram. Many people are using it for Facebook. They are not using it to read books. There are very, very few people who are using the Kindle, you know, the app for books to read. So it's more of entertainment. People are more interested in entertainment. And they just finished Big Brother Nigeria now. Look at the millions of people who were viewing it. And look at the millions they gave out. Okay? Our daughters come, maybe so a girl comes out top in West Africa. What does she get? A handshake from the governor and 10,000 naira.
And they say entertainment sells all over the world.
Yeah, but
show business.
It sells.
That is where the money is.
Lot of education. Without education, a nation will crumble. Entertainment will not bring development. Entertainment will not bring technology. It's technology now. Entertainment will not bring technology improvement and all that. You can dance, you can do all kinds of entertainment. It ends there. How does your country develop? How does it grow its GDP? It's not by entertainment. No, don't tell me entertainment is good though. There's no work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Yes, entertainment is good, but you cannot neglect education. How many percentage of our budget is given to education? You will cry. You will cry. The world, what is recognized around the world is about 30%. We give less than 2% in Nigeria to education of our budget. So that's the problem.
We are still talking about the internet. How easy is it to access the bookshop on the internet?
I think over time that has improved. With time, with competition, with all these Globacom, Airtel and all that, competing with each other, they gradually improved their service. 20 years ago, 20-something years ago when they came, it was difficult. But now, with 3G, 4G, now going to 5G, it's really getting improved. You can, from your own office, from my office, I don't go anywhere. I just plug my phone and order what I want to order.
From what apps?
Not app.
Okay.
From Google.
Okay.
If yesterday, I think my manager came and said somebody brought a book. I don't have the book here. So I just went to Google on my phone and just typed the yes. And it just came with all kinds of alternatives. And I see the company. Oh, it's a company that is I represent, which is McGraw-Hill. So I just send them an email. I want so and so book. That's all. They just send it to my freight forwarder. In another 3 weeks, it gets here, and I give it to the person. So the internet is good. It can be better, depending on, but it's just that in Nigeria it's very expensive. It's one of the most expensive internets we have in the world in Nigeria. So
that's why people don't like reading books.
Our leaders have to do something about it, because we have an NCC who is supposed to control these things. So I'm just appealing to them that they should do their work.
Let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll still be discussing reviving reading culture in Nigeria and why it is very good for you to read to improve your own individual capacity. We'll be back.
Trending and current issues.
The COVID-19 vaccine is a blessing from my own point of view.
NGOs have a role to play.
Government policies.
Would you agree that the government is proactive enough? I think they are. What is your opinion?
We need to do more.
The training of women
Goes beyond rhetorics of government and concrete action.
NGO welfare programs that directly affect the average Nigerian home and the common man in the language that is easily understood by all.
It doesn't matter that the legislative arm and the executive arm should be at loggerhead to show that there is checks and balances.
Where is the checks and balances, they ask?
Every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on this station.
You're still on Break It Down, and I'm still with Engineer Anthony Apokene. We're talking about reading on the internet, because I know people who would rather read soft copy than these hard copy, especially the younger ones. They call us old school. I prefer reading my hard copy.
Which is better?
You know,
I'll tell you why.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Which has the lasting impact?
Of course.
On the psyche.
Of course, the study has been done already, so it's not just talk from the head. In 2012, we went for London Book Fair, and there was a whole seminar on reading from the phone, and reading from the computer, and reading from hard copy. You know what you have on the computer, those words, they are dot, 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 dot. They are not solid lines. Okay. You understand? They are not solid lines. They are dot, 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 dot. So your brain, they did the study, said your brain has a way of interacting with those kind of things, and it does not retain properly because it's struggling to see, it's using a lot of effort to be able to put those dots together, unlike when you have solid lines that you have in your book. So they've done the analysis. Then medically, the more you expose your eyes to the blue light coming from these devices, your retina is going. That's what they call macula. My wife is an optometrist. We did a lecture on June 30th here. We called it the negative effect of smartphones and digital devices on your eyes. It's mind-boggling. I mean, we spend about 2 hours asking questions and all that. So yes, it's good. You can read from the phone, but the truth is that you have to protect your eyes. What I have now is called blue light. You can see there's a blue tinge. It completely cuts off the radiation that comes. You know, so because I use the computer a lot for order and all that, so I had to get it. You know, but before then, I now had a little bit of pressure in my eyes because of constant use of the phone and my laptop, you know. So people have to balance it up. You understand? Yes, at times. I mean, we're in the modern age now. There's no way you cannot, read things, read news and all that on the phone. But if you want to do extensive reading, it's always better to go to the hard copy. It's better. Even those who there are some courses you do, medical courses and all that. You assimilate more, not just medical courses, but I'm not using that as an example, with all the diagrams, all the things you need to do, the interaction you need to do with the book and all that. It's always better to go the hard copy.
Okay, so how would you say reading helps to improve individual capacity?
Okay,
extensive.
Yes, we mentioned it a bit when we talked in the first segment. Your mind is broadened. You understand? Your mind is broadened. The more you read, the more you are able to articulate things, the more you are able to put one and two things together. You gain experience from Mr. A, gain experience from Mr. B. So you are an all-round person. You become an all-rounder, as it were. So unlike somebody who does not read, you go to a function, people are talking, you just be there moping. People are discussing things, you don't know, you cannot, join in the discussion. So you went to school, but school did not pass through you because you just only read your chemistry or your physics, and that's all you know. So those are the benefits of reading. It increases your horizon. Yeah.
How difficult or easy is it to run such a bookshop as yours? And we also, let's look at publishing also. We had big publishing houses back in the day. I don't know if they still, I hardly hear of them anymore.
Yes, we still have publishing houses, not those big ones you have. Many of them are in the West. Many of them are in Ibadan. That is the base of publishing. So they are there. They are publishers. They also have a few of them in Benin City. Yeah, but Ibadan is like the center of publishing.
So what are the challenges in running a bookshop?
Oh, well, Nigerians don't read. So you invest so much money in the place and your turnover is very little. So you have to first of all have a passion for it. If not, this is not the business you should be in because you'll be frustrated out. I've been in this business since I left Shell in 2005. Wow. So this is 16 years? Yeah. But because I'm passionate about it, I've stayed the course, So many times it was really challenging, no money and all that. But people think that it's because I worked in Shell, so I have plenty of money. But they don't know that. Though I worked in Shell for a long time, I didn't live with a pension. So it's a struggle. But you can be innovative. I made an analysis. I used to be the vice president of Christian Booksellers Association of Nigeria in charge of training. And I've trained them a lot. I've trained so many, bookstores in Lagos, Benin, Warri, Kaduna, Jos. I used to travel all around and bring resource persons from abroad to train them. And I've told them that, look, Nigeria, we have a population, they claim we have a population of 200 million. In my own estimate, we are far, far more than that. Lagos alone is almost 30 million. Talk less of Ibadan, talk less of those. By the time you add all those small places, we are already reaching 100 million. Then Abuja, Kano, put all those places. We are far, far more than 200 million. We don't have proper census, I hope you know. So anyway, take 1%, assuming 1%. The study shows that 3% are ardent readers in Nigeria, 3%. 3% of 200 million, you know what that is. So assuming it's only 1%. 1% is 20 million. 20 million people buying a book worth 10,000 naira a year, which is small in a whole year. I mean, the recent Barack Obama's book, Promised Land, the original copy sells for 20,000 naira. So, I mean, ardent readers, when the book came, a lot of them bought it. So you can imagine that is a 20 billion naira business. So I'll ask the question, let us add up all what we have sold last year or 2 years ago. How much did it? It didn't come up to 2 billion.
Do you have to deal with piracy?
Oh, I'm coming to that. And thank God for the new NCC director, Mr. Asen. He's really fighting them and going after them. Piracy is terrible. Somebody's intellectual property, he struggles, spends years writing a book. You just wait for the person to come out. You go to China and print it and bring it to Nigeria, and you start selling at ridiculous price. That Obama book, I bought it for, it sells in the US for $45. $45 at, even using 500 naira, it's about 20,000 naira. Yeah? Now, you are not talking the cost of shipping here, clearing and all that. So 20,000 naira is the cost. I go to Area 10, UTC, in April, and I see the book. So I said, I won't buy this book. How much is it? Ah, guys, 3,500. Oh. I priced and priced, was ready to give it to me for 2,000. That is a book I am selling for 20,000. Oh. Then Nigerians are buying it. They know it's a pirated copy, and they say, Oga, it's the same thing inside, and I didn't know what is inside. So Nigerians are encouraging piracy. If we, Nigerians, do not buy pirated books, the pirate business will crash. But they have a ready market. Everybody's ready to buy cheap books. Yes, yes.
Do you have people who support, like corporate organizations and individuals who support reading in Nigeria, building this reading culture or reviving it?
I don't really know of those. Most of the people who do what they do it individually. Then they talk to their family. My family supports me a lot. You know, so when I have challenges, my senior sister now says, "Sister, I need help." You know, then my friends in Shell, and we have a very strong primary school association. I attended Agbado Primary School in Benin, so our association is very strong. So they support us a lot.
So quickly, what more do you think government can do in reviving reading culture?
Number one, they should set up libraries across the country. They should set up libraries and begin to talk about it. Get people to talk about it, talk about libraries, talk about reading culture. You understand? Put more money into education. Put more money into education. Then the importation of books used to be zero duty. They now increased it to some certain percentage, and you pay a lot of duty now on imported books. Before, it was not like that. So we are trying to say we want to encourage reading culture, and you are putting already a bottleneck. So those are the things I think the government are quick wins that they can do. And I don't think it's rocket science. Yeah.
No, it's not. Thank you very much. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for watching. We have been discussing reviving reading culture amongst youths. And we had Engineer Anthony Apokene, a book reading advocate and a petroleum engineer on the show. Thanks for watching. We'll be back same time next week. This is Break It Down.